It's Friday Night Heights at Bud Walton Arena. We have some NQS March Madness Senior Night, and the Red Hot Tigers are in the house. It's Arkansas and Missouri in SEC Gymnastics. Let's take a look at the standings. We'll be talking a lot about this tonight. Oklahoma, LSU, and Florida, the top three. Mizzou has been amazingly consistent, but Arkansas trying to pass Auburn to reach the SEC tournament. Let's bring you inside Brett Golden, Sydney Lemmerherd. Thanks so much for joining us, Sydney. We're going to talk a lot about scores today. Arkansas is on the wrong side of that cut line, so what did the gym backs have to do this evening?
You know, on our call this week, Coach Weber said they didn't do any magic last week. They just did their gymnastics, and tonight, that's exactly what they're going to need to do, is just focus on their gymnastics to give them that best chance.
They need a 197 plus to potentially pass Auburn. Last week, though, a huge score, in part because of what they did on the beam.
Yeah, if they can repeat this beam rotation right here, they should have no worries tonight. Stuck landings, no wobbles, and they fought for every single tenth to give no deductions to those judges.
They had 5 9-9s or better, 4 straight amazing scores, part of this program record beam score. They'll see if they can do that again tonight. Let's introduce you to the third member of our team to talk about the Mizzou Tigers. It's Emerson Burris.
There is a lot at stake tonight for Mizzou. They're currently ranked 4th in the SEC, which puts them in a position to compete in the second session of the SEC championships. With a high road score tonight, that puts them in an even better position. Now, for years, the Tigers have been undermined and have been called underdogs, but last week, senior Amari Celestine tried to change that narrative. At that meet on Sunday, they had a program high record of 198.1, and after, Celestine said, when we make it to nationals, people will stop calling us the underdog. Now, the Tigers are going to have to bring it regardless tonight, but especially in an atmosphere like Bud Walton Arena that has knocked off the best of the best in the SEC. Guys?
Exactly, Emerson. And last week, Sydney, there were 13 9-9s or better for Mizzou, but there have been a couple of top-ranked teams that have come into Bud Walton Arena, and Arkansas has been able to come out with victories. Although tonight we're going to be talking a lot about scores rather than wins and losing.
For sure, but you know, Coach Weber said she is so happy with how consistent the crowd has been here, the energy. So, you know, if those scores add up with the energy, I think Arkansas is going to be pretty solid tonight.
So Mizzou wants that 197.250 to get that evening spot. Arkansas trying to get into the conference event. It's amazing now with Oklahoma. There's 9 teams, only 8 make it. There has to be a better way. Jordan Weber believes there is, but she really wants her team to be in the top 8, and Auburn would be the team left out. Arkansas is going to start on the vault, of course, with Cammie Weaver. Last week, amazingly, Arkansas had 6 scores that were all the same at 9-8-5.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen anything like that before.
I mean, that was scoring madness. And Cammie Weaver to begin our meet.
Nice, your chick full. She did try to hold on to that landing. They're really going to have to dial in on those landings. She took a hop, so there will be that deduction. Very clean start, but they need to focus in on those landings.
So Mizzou on the bars. They had their second best score in program history last week, just under a 49.6. They had a jewelry warning a couple of weeks ago against Florida. That's about the only blip they've had here as of late. Kira Burns coming off a 9.925 last week, which was a career best.
And that is definitely a score in a leadoff that you can be happy about knowing you're going to put up a 9.9 plus right off the bat.
Mizzou coming off the 198.1 last week.
Very nice handstand so far. Clean Jaeger to immediate overshoot. Wow, hit that handstand right on top. That was a phenomenal start to the bar rotation. I don't know if she could have done it much better.
What a tremendous beginning for the Tigers.
I love the body position she keeps throughout that whole double layout. Doesn't quite pike down, really absorbs her landing. Great start.
Cami Weaver had a 9.75. Jolie Lang is up next at 9.85 last week, had a 9.9 couple of meets ago against Alabama.
And she has been like a dart on this vault, really dialing in on those landings. Very nice. Looked like she took the hop from that position. Much cleaner landing than the previous vaulter. They can't afford to count a 9.75 tonight. I think that'll definitely go higher. Would like to see her keep her hips just a little bit flatter. I know she's really trying to fight for that stick, as she should, but just absorb the leading. She has a beautiful vault.
You wouldn't blame anybody if they weren't a little bit anxious tonight. Arkansas has gone to a point system in their practices to kind of de-emphasize scoring, but everything circles back to scoring this evening.
Yes. And it's hard because in gymnastics sometimes as a gymnast you're taught don't look at the scores, control what you can control, but tonight that's a little different.
Hannah Horton, a couple of 9.85s the last 2 weeks for Mizzou.
Wow, very nice shaposh. You don't typically see a lot of shaposhes coming from that free hip. Another very nice handstand. Just that dismount. Wow. Oh, she did not need to take that step. She flared that out. She almost floated it down to the mat. Man, if she would have stuck that, that would have been huge. Looks so floaty. Sees the landing the whole time, just was on her heels a little bit. A great job.
Just the very end kept her for maybe a big score. This is Dakota Essen-Price. Remember, Leah Smith, I should say, is still trying to get back. Maybe some hope that she could compete in this event. Arkansas has been consistent. They're kind of missing Leah, but Dakota had a 9.85 last week.
Nice Yurchenko, 1.5. She did take that kind of large step. Again, I think there's a lot of energy. They're hyped. They know what's at stake. They just need to dial in again. And you're going to get tired of me saying this tonight, but do their gymnastics, do exactly how they train.
You see the score for Burns for Mizzou with the 9.9 and waiting on Hannah Horton. So now Jocelyn Moore up next. All she did last week was a 9.95, Sydney. In fact, she's had 3 of those this year.
And she flies on bars. The amplitude and height she gets on all of her skills is unreal. Huge Tkachev. I liked her positioning on that overshoot. Very nice final handstand. And gear up for this huge full-in dismount. She got the stick, got those heels together. Way to fight.
I think she's happy with that.
She definitely is. And that is textbook. She does that almost every week. She's become so consistent in that bar routine. It's really fun to watch.
Just amazing height on this dismount.
Yeah, and she is right on top of that bar, hitting exactly where she needs to be. That was a super impressive bar routine. Wow.
Arkansas hoping to drop a 9.75. This is Haley Klein. A couple of weeks ago against Alabama, she put up a 9.9.
She struggled in warm-up. Not a problem there. She had sat a few of those down in warm-up. I honestly don't know if she made maybe more than one to her feet, so it was nice to see her get that on the feet. That is a 10-0 start value. So she has a little wiggle room with the deductions there. Again, need to just calm down and focus on those landings, but another great vault for Haley.
9-9 and a 9-8 so far for Mizzou on the bars, waiting for the score for Jocelyn Moore. This is Olivia Kelly out of the Bronx, coming off a 9-8-7-5.
Wow. Very nice pike ray. You don't see that a lot in college gymnastics. It's a very difficult skill. And beautiful Stalter work to a double tuck. Maybe the smallest foot shuffle. I couldn't tell if it was Matt or her foot. But that was a very unique, nicely executed bar routine. Huge. That she caught maybe a little close. Arms might have been slightly bent, but I can appreciate the different skills on bars. That was very nicely done.
2 meets ago, Jocelyn Robertson did not vault against Alabama. There was an ankle issue. She got back last week. Part of the all-around, she had one of those 9-8-5s. I think Arkansas hoping for a big score out of Jocelyn this evening.
Wow, that was one of the cleanest vaults I've seen her do. Typically, she almost has too much energy and she'll bounce back. Just the smallest step. I'd like to see her positioning on the table. She does have a little bit of a form break, slight arm bend on the table. They might take that deduction. They probably will just because the angle that they're at. But that was one of the cleanest vaults I've seen Jocelyn do all year.
We're in for a treat now with Amari Celestine on the bars for Mizzou. 8th in the country in NQS on this event. At one point this year, she had 6 straight 9-9s or better. That is the Cella standard, I believe. Almost a machine-like, robot-like production in this event.
She is. And even in her warm-up, I think every single turn looked exactly the same, which is exactly what you want.
She has a unique dismount on this event, so we'll see that when she gets towards the end.
Beautifully done. I love seeing her legs stick together. Up to the bar with another release move of Van Leeuwen. Very difficult, slight foot form there. With that unique dismount to the stick. I think the crowd didn't expect that. That was a great bar routine. Just small little form errors here and there that I think the judges could take.
I think you get an idea why Mizzou has been so consistent over these last several weeks.
Yes, everything looks exactly the same week to week. And wow, that dismount is so difficult, and she does it so well. And really fought for that landing. Again, she does it every week. It's very impressive.
Arkansas still hoping to drop that 9-7-5. This is Frankie Price in the anchor spot.
Really fought for that landing. Yurchenko full. She knows that she needs to control that landing.
So much
she typically flies out of it. So that is a sizable hop there. They will take a deduction for that. But she gets such a nice block straight off the table. There's almost nothing to deduct other than that landing.
So Arkansas completes their vault. Mizzou has Mara Titarsoli up, who was the SEC Bars co-champion a year ago, coming off a 9-9-5. She's had a 10 in this event at 2 different schools.
Yes, that is so impressive. I've loved watching her bars since she was at LIU. Getting a 10 there was just an insane moment in college gymnastics. And I feel like she, again, I'm going to use a word for Mizzou, is consistent. But her bar routine is the same week after week. And when she sticks it, she does not give the judges anything to deduct.
Mizzou's already had a couple of 9-9s and a 9-8-7-5 on this event.
Such a beautiful swing. Very nice Maloney to immediate pack salto. See if she can hit. Almost holds that last handstand right on top in that pirouette. Wow.
You've been finding little bits to
That was hard.
anything there that sticks out?
Not that I saw. I am not a judge, and I think I've said that all year. I am not the judges, but wow. And she was almost on her heels, too, so she really fought for that landing.
Kind of a soft landing, but she held on, and Arkansas has an exhibition as well from Caitlin Ewald. Can they count that one?
You know, I think they wish they could. It's so nice to see her getting a spot in that lineup, even if it is just exhibition. She's worked so hard on that vault. Very difficult vault, and that was very nicely done.
Her former teammate at Illinois, Abby Miller, will be on the beam later for Mizzou, so maybe reuniting with a former teammate, but that was Arkansas's exhibition on the vault, but also one as well for Mizzou on the bars in Raina Light. And Mizzou has been amazing as far as altering their lineups, trying to find some depth and keep everybody fresh to be at their best late in the year. And individuals, a gymnast like Light, have been part of that, being in the lineup. But she's getting a chance to exhibition this evening. By the way, we had a 9.8, I believe, for Celestine.
That seems a little low.
I would say it probably does.
But a 9.975 for Mara, so one judge agreed with me. Nicely done. Some form errors on that Pax Salto. Very good last handstand. Small hop, but like you said, another depth piece. It's nice to have rest some bodies when you can going into this really tough postseason.
One rotation down here at Bud Walton Arena. We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll learn about how the Razorback football team is not just here supporting, they've been active this week. We'll explain more when we come back.
It's Larry Worth here, number 3, safety.
Tavion Wallace here, linebacker, number 25.
Esmel Cece, receiver, number 84. And we're here with the gymnastics. They have senior night on Friday, so we came to show our appreciation and go Hogs.
Hey guys, I'm Maddie Jones. I'm Maddie Wallagora. I'm Cammie Weaver. Frankie Price. And we're all seniors on the Arkansas gymnastics team. We're here with some of the football players to teach them some flips before Friday's meet in Bud Walton Arena versus Mizzou. 3-day warm-up. Try them to kick.
Dual sport athlete, baby.
Dual sport. Real dual sport.
I'm just a gym back. I don't know what they talking about.
Ready? And 2. Do it. Now we're going to take that stick off of the beam and land on the mat. Okay, so basically, pull up, and lift your hips over.
That might be past my
fairness. I think you can try to pull up.
That's not beginner level.
Hey.
Yeah.
No, sir.
No shot.
Hey, sure, he already there. Swingy.
Great job,
We're only 18 minutes in, and this is the condition.
We've been here for 18, going on 19 minutes, and it feels like we done had 3 hours of football practice already.
I'm all dusted and all that.
I can't let them know in their face, but this harder than football, but I can't let them know that in their face.
A little bit.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, this so easy though. I'm tired. This is way harder than football practice. They said they gotta do this for 4 hours. 4 hours. Thank you guys for tuning in to the football and gymnastics collab. Hope to see you guys on Friday at senior night at 6:45. Be there early, 6:45, not 6:45, be there at 6:30. 6:30. And thank you guys for tuning in. Love you all so much.
Checking out, man. Dual sport athlete, baby. Let's go.
Last week against Kentucky for the Gym-Backs, Sydney, Maddie Walagora was just amazing.
Yeah, coach said she is hitting her stride in this 6th year, which is super impressive. She's been stellar on 3 events. You know, she's kind of thrown into that floor lineup with Leah Smith's injury, and she went 9.95, you know, super casual last week. But she has really just been a leader in every way possible, and they said they are so lucky to have this year with Maddie.
5 seasons at Alabama, getting her 6th year here in Arkansas. Remember when she debuted on the beam against Florida, she had a fall, so that was a huge bounce back.
Yeah, she has not looked back since 9.925 last week, a few 9.9s throughout her career here. Again, she is just hitting her stride at the right time, which is so impressive.
I know we talk so much about being at your best late in the year, but it seems like that's much easier said than done, but she is doing it.
Yes, especially in the sport of gymnastics and being in it for as long as she has. You know, it's a tough sport on your body and on your mind. Truly, it is a mental sport, so to be so locked in, I can't say enough good things about Maddie.
Here's your meet summary. Mizzou did really well on the bars. Not quite as good as they did a year ago when they had the second best, or a week ago when they had the second best score in program history. I know Arkansas maybe not thrilled with that 49-2, considering that Auburn, we're watching Auburn as well, had a really good vault opening score.
They did, but you know, they can't focus on it. Obviously, they don't know what's going on. They're just staying in their bubble, but they really need to hit these last 3 events to their fullest potential.
Kennedy Griffin ready to lead off, a 9.8 last week for these Tigers.
Very nice Yurchenko full. I love the flare out she's got there. Had a foot movement, almost a slight hop backwards, so they'll deduct for that. But very, very nice. I love how open she is on this landing. Just spots it. I think she honestly just piked it down a little too early. She didn't need to do that. She's pretty happy with that vault.
But Jocelyn Robertson leading off for Arkansas on the bar, stuck her landing last week, and Jordan Weaver said she's one of those athletes that loves gymnastics. It's like she's playing gymnastics instead of performing.
And she has gotten better and better on this event every week. She's really worked on her form. I know that she doesn't want to be known as having any sort of loose form on her events coming from elite. So far, so good. Wow. Fought for that landing, but that might have been one of the best routines I've seen her put together. Sometimes, you know, she'll be really clean on the bar and then take a hop on the dismount, or she'll be a little loose, but she'll stick that landing. It was the first time I think we've seen her kind of put it all together, hitting those handstands right on top of the bar. And honestly, I think she floated up that dismount a lot higher than she normally does. I love the fight.
We've seen that a few times here this evening. Fighting for all those points, minimizing the deductions, and this is Olivia Kelly. She did not vault last week, did a couple of weeks ago against Florida.
Yurchenko full. Quite a large step back. That will be about a 1/10 and a half to 2/10 deduction potentially, because she moved her front foot as well. But I love her body position throughout. Honestly, it was like she had too much power and piked it down, which brought her backwards.
Their first score was the 9.875 from Kennedy Griffin. Waiting on the score for Jocelyn Robertson as Callie Sweeney gets her chance, coming off a 9.825 in the meet last week when Arkansas put up the amazing numbers against Kentucky. See Callie, the junior. I know for seniors, though, this is an extra element of emotion involved in this final home meet.
Yes, on top of the pressure of SECs for the first time. senior night can be pretty emotional for everyone, but you can't focus on that too much until your routines are done, or it can kind of, play tricks with your mind. Great start so far from Callie. Really had a fight there. Caught it close on that pack salto, but love seeing her end on top of the bar. I love the fight they're putting into these dismounts. There will be a slight deduction for the bobble of the arms, but it's better than taking a quite large step or hop, so I love the fight there.
Gotta use those toes.
Yes, you have to use every muscle in your body.
Robertson at the 9.825. We'll see what score Callie Sweeney gets. This is Elise Tisler. She stuck her landing last week.
Wow, really floaty Yurchenko full. Hop back will be about a 10th deduction there, but very nice on the table. I love how straight her arms were, weighted to twist. Honestly, just the hop, I think that'll be really the only deduction on that vault.
Kind of an early theme tonight, maybe a hopper holding on to minimize the deductions on those dismounts. Caitlin Ewald, next up, off a 9.85 last week on the bars. 4 years, of course, at Illinois before she became a gym back. Sweeney had a 9.8.
Great first handstand. You can tell she's really focusing in on those details. Nice form throughout so far. Right on top. Just the dismount. Wow. That was such a great routine from Katie. She put it all together. No bobble on that stuck. That was a true stuck dismount.
Feels like this could give the team a boost with this performance.
They needed a little bit of energy and momentum. It was there. They're holding back a little bit, but I think that could really start a trickle effect of sticks. They're contagious.
3 of the first 5 meets, the lowest scores the gym backs had were on the bars. This is Hannah Horton, 10th in the SEC in this event.
Wow. Yurchenko 1.5. Didn't quite see the landing. Looked like a stick. We'll see here. Yep, that is as stuck as you can get. Perfect chest position. That was great. I really don't know. There's probably some small deduction they'll find, but that was just about as good as you can do it.
She said back-to-back 9.9s. Priscilla Park next up off a 9.85. And again, in those first 5 meets, Arkansas did not have a single 9.9 from anyone. They'd love to see possibly Ewald get one of those as Priscilla Park gets her chance.
She struggled a little bit in warm-up. Caught close there. No need to panic. And that's where she was struggling in warm-up. Unfortunate fall for Priscilla.
And we talk about the emotions of tonight and just fighting through mentally and physically. And obviously when you have a fall, it only accelerates, I would imagine, that conversation you have with yourself in your head.
Yeah, and the 2 behind her are seniors, so like we said, there is a little bit of added pressure there, but knowing the experience they have, they're not going to let something like this get to them. Flush it away is what we always said. Now she does need to finish this routine strong, just in case there's the slightest chance. Very nicely done. I know she's going to be very disappointed. She is one of the biggest competitors I've ever met in my life, so Again, I know she's going to be upset about that, but again, flush it and move on to the next event.
By the way, we had a 9.95 from Hannah Horton. This is Jocelyn Moore. She's had a 10 in this category before this event. She was the vault champion in the SEC a couple of years ago. Had a big step forward last week on her landing.
Man, watch how she just sails this vault and spots the landing. I haven't seen a technique like this before. That step again, very similar to last week's vault. Honestly, I think she's almost focusing in too much on trying to get that stick, especially after the girl before you just had a 9.95 and you know what you're capable of. Another great vault, but there will be a medium-sized deduction, we'll say, on that step.
Arkansas got a 9.85 from Ewald. Obviously, they want to drop Park's score. Maddie Jones, 23rd in the country in this category, coming off a stuck landing and a 9.9 1 week ago. And maybe worth mentioning, Mizzou did compete on Sunday, so they've had a quicker turnaround than did the Gymbacks. So much at stake. Obviously, Arkansas trying to get that 197 plus and hope that Auburn doesn't go off in their senior night as well to give them a chance not to be the lone team staying home for the SEC tournament. Don't rush Maddie. She's got her rhythm. She's got a routine.
And that's exactly what she needs to do. Just do exactly what she's used to. Nicely done, Pike Jaeger. Huge back salto. Right on top. Great job so far. Still got to focus in on this dismount.
Have to finish.
Just like that. That is what you want after a fall. They're going for a 10. She is so clean. She's already getting emotional. She's got at least 1 or 2 more events left, but that is how you have your teammates back. Beautiful. She was a little close on that pack salto. I think they're going to get her for some body shaping there, but wow.
Happy Maddie Jones. See the 9.125 from Priscilla Park. This is Amari Celestine. 3 years ago, she was the vault silver medalist at the NCAA meet, a 9.925 last week.
Another very clean Yurchenko 1.5. And she just has so much fun out there. I love watching her celebrate. She did have that hop, so it's not going to be a perfect 10, but so clean. She really fought with her toes. And she is definitely an energy person for that team.
Maddie Jones. A couple of words for Maddie Walagora. She's been through a couple of senior nights, but on the bars last week, she put forth a 9.925. My goodness, Arkansas would love that. They got a 9.875 from Maddie Jones.
Yeah, they still haven't cracked that 9.9.
They have not.
They really need that right now. I think Maddie is definitely someone that can deliver that. Taking her time.
Yeah, you see that last extra real deep breath before you're ready to begin.
Great first handstand. Huge shaker, goodness. Caught that with her fingertips. Great job. Small hop in place.
More of a bounce.
Just a little bouncy there. Needed to absorb the landing, but that is definitely a routine that they will take. Being able to drop that 9.1. That was huge. And just that dismount. She needed to absorb that landing, but great job with a bounce back after fall. That's how you finish out a bar lineup.
Arkansas will drop the 9-1-2-5. Mizzou will drop the 9-8 in the vault. Mizzou's already had their exhibition. And Arkansas will have one as well. On the bars, Sadie Smith, the freshman. Tarsali had the exhibition on the Tanskanen, I beg your pardon, had the exhibition from Mizzou. She went so fast after
We
Arkansas's dismount.
Good to see Sadie get a chance in this lineup. So far, so good. Good handstand. Just a freshman. Very impressive details so far. With the hop, they might have liked to use that in their lineup today, but again, we talked about depth with Mizzou. It's nice to see that there's a little bit of depth there.
Just like that, we've flown through 2 rotations in this final home meet of the season. Oh, so important for both of these teams. Mizzou trying to finish in the top 4, Arkansas trying to finish in the top 8. Let's check in with Emerson.
Coach, the 2 words you use to describe this regular season are consistency and growth. Where are you seeing that consistency tonight?
Yeah, I thought we did a great job on bars. We had it was a little squirrely actually in that 4-minute touch, and they did a good job of settling in, and I think we stuck quite a few dismounts, so that was great. And then we went over to vault, and we're really proud of them over there. They did a great job, and we subbed Olivia Kelly got in today, and so that was cool. I think just continuing to put some new people in the lineup when they're ready to go, and I think they respond really well to that. And how about Hannah Horton sticking that ball? That was pretty good, right?
What does your team need to do to keep the energy up in this kind of atmosphere?
Yeah, I think just use it. That's what we were just talking about, was use it. This is a great energy, and we're just using it for ourselves and having fun. We're going to an event that I think we can really excel on, and so, yeah.
Coach, thanks so much.
Thanks a lot.
Guys.
Thanks to Shannon Welker. Got a big contract extension on January 2nd. That's the best New Year's gift one can get, as Tigers performing well tonight through 2 rotations here at Bud Walton.
Just does it so well.
It's top-notch excellence every single time.
Big time gymnastics here.
That was amazing.
There's no resting in the SEC.
Do it, do it, do it, do it. You can do it. Watch me move up, down, side to side. Feel alive on the road, no surprise.
Well, the SEC championships coming up soon, and like every other sport, the SEC is such a juggernaut when it comes to college gymnastics, and we're tracking all of the scores, both coming into this meet and, of course, tonight. And Sydney, Arkansas has been fine, not fabulous this evening as they try and pass Auburn, but it sounds like the Tigers have been really good in their senior night.
Yeah, you know, like I said earlier, Arkansas's just got to control what they can control. You know, go out there, do their best gymnastics, and continue to do their job. You know, anything can happen, but one thing Coach Weaver said is that their superpower is their ability to fight, and I think these last 2 events, you're really going to see that.
That's a great superpower to have, and here's what Auburn has done with their vault score ahead of their bar. They need a 1.975 to pull away from Arkansas, so that's still a little bit of work to do, but they're off to a good beginning. Arkansas hoping for a strong finish on the beam and the floor. We'll come right back to Bud Walton on Friday Night High. Every time you turn around in March, somebody's having a selection show, but March 24th will be here before we know it.
I know, I can't believe that we are already nearing postseason for gymnastics. I feel like the season went by so quick. A lot of changes that we saw this year, like we said, with that SEC championship coming up and that very important selection show.
And obviously for the team that doesn't make the SEC championships, it's one less data point for them, and I know that's what this competition and this fight is all about tonight between Arkansas and Auburn.
Yeah, and you know, you could maybe spin that into a positive, maybe an extra week of rest before you go into that postseason.
I think you might be onto something. Here's your meet summary. Mizzou has been just as consistent this evening as it feels like they have been over the last several weeks.
Yeah, I think that truly they have been kind of overlooked. You know, we have the big name teams in the SEC, but Mizzou has silently been crushing it, and I really think that they have a strong chance at being in that night session.
So on the beam again, last week Arkansas had the program record. They had 5 9-9s or better, and they had an amazing beginning from Callista Gamiao, and she's up first for the Gymbacks. They had 4 season-high scores on this event.
That is very impressive at an away meet, too. Man, got to play the emotional music, too, for the senior. Very nice standing Lele. She is just a picture of consistency on beam. It's actually insane to me sometimes to think that she is the leadoff, because I think in some other schools she would be the anchor.
I think you're right. In fact, she had a couple of top 3 event finishes here in this last performance, so she is hitting her stride to say the least.
And it's been so fun to watch her confidence grow on this event throughout these 4 years. I truly think her first meet up, she was just as close to this confidence as possible, but she's really honed in and had so much fun during her time here. This is a great beam routine. Get that stick. Wow. That is how you do your final beam routine in Bud Walton. That really difficult standing Lele. Little bit soft in that back leg. They could deduct 4 form there, but really put that exclamation point with that stuck dismount. Great job for Callista.
So valuable to have not only somebody consistent in that lead-up spot, but can also put up some scores. And speaking of scores, before Elise gets her chance, Mizzou comes in this event, the best NQS on the floor in program history. They're 3rd in the country.
And they have a fun floor rotation. Coach Welker said that she is the energy person for this team. Thinks she's a little bit underrated. Silently been a really solid person for them. Great first pass. And I love the facial expressions playing to that away crowd.
Probably didn't have a crowd like this at Towson before she transferred.
Not. Gearing up for that next pass. On that front layout, nicely done. Really clean floor routine with the mic drop. Great start for Mizzou on floor. That first pass front lay to Arudi. You want to see that second salto rise above the first one. She does a great job with that. And that last pass, very clean. Very excited about that floor routine.
Well, the leadoff individuals both provided some good starts. Gamiao had the 9-9, waiting on Elise's score. And we've already discussed what Maddie Walagora has been doing as of late, coming off the 9-9-5 last week.
Great job in that full turn. Sometimes it's nice to get that out of the way. I love how sharp she is with every detail. Very nicely done, series. Looked like her foot was almost a little off into that layout. No problems there, though. Side aerial, no problems.
Little smile, too.
I love when she does her little head nod. That's her way of saying, I got this.
I got it.
Great adjustment there on that tuck full. She almost kind of traveled in the air. It's already a difficult enough jump. She's got to finish this up. Round off 1.5 with the stick. After that first routine, I mean, man, like you said, she had a fall in her first ever beam routine and lineup, and she has not looked back. And man, that was incredible.
She had that bounce back between determination and excitement at the end.
Man, dialed in. And this is what we talked about in the open. They need to repeat that beam rotation they did, and they're doing a great job at that so far.
Doubt. Well, if you like Michael Jackson music, you've come to the right place, and this is the right person in Hannah Horton off a 9.925 a week ago, and this will get the dust coming out of the rafters of the speakers here at Bud Walton.
Got to start it off with the moonwalk. Huge full in, move that front foot. Really work on dialing in on that landing, but the height was incredible. And I'm sure this does so well with the home crowd.
I could see where this would really fire up the home crowd. Really gets me fired up.
I'm having fun with it
you.
too. I love watching all of her teammates and coaches do the dance on the side. Their coach Jackie did a great job with their choreography.
And of course, Jackie used to be here. Big part of what Frankie Price has put forward with her choreography.
Nice last pass. Again, she did slide that front foot, so that will be a deduction, but the amplitude she gets is unreal. What a fun routine. Here's that front tuck through to double tuck. She just continues to rise. Pike those hips down though, so it brought her back a little bit. I'd like to see her absorb it, but great routine.
See the 9.875 for Wallagora. Priscilla Park up next for Arkansas. Stuck her landing last week to get a 9.925, and it feels like Arkansas is trying to gain some team momentum in this event.
Definitely, and I think those first two have done a great job at really setting up the rest of the lineup. Again, controlling what you can control. Full turn. She has her game face on. Very nicely done. Again, we talked about just flushing it. Whatever happened on the last event, you don't take with you to the next event.
That's got to be hard, though, doesn't it?
It has to be hard, especially going to beam where it's already such a high-stakes event. She's doing a great job so far, though. Such a difficult leap series. The judge liked that one. She smiled back at her. Aerial 1.5. Just that step, great routine, really minimal deductions there. Has to feel good after coming off of not a great event for her on bars, but put up another solid beam routine. She does a great job at hitting the 180. And again, that is such, I am so impressed with that lead series, the strength it takes just to do that. She just kind of rushed her head forward, just needed to absorb. I think that's what Coach Weaver just told her to, but again, another great routine for Priscilla and the beam team.
Raina Light has been one of those Tigers, the youngsters that has been in and out of the lineup, getting her chance tonight off at 9.925 last week.
Nice first pass, dances right out of it to minimize any landing deduction. A little bit, I don't know if I want to say overturned or underturned on that leap. Looked like she wanted to do just a full. The judges could take a little bit for that. Watching her teammates dance along with her. She knows where the camera is. Double pike, very nicely done. Small little foot movement there. Great routine from Raina. Look at this double pike. You'll see her front foot, the slightest little movement there at the very end. I'm being super picky because that's what the judges are looking for, and especially, like I said, when these scores really matter tonight.
There's no doubt, even more so than ever before. Callie Swaney was part of that 9-9 parade of scores on the beam in the Kentucky meet. Right now, Arkansas is 199 in their first 3 scores on this event, as you can see.
Cat leap, front aerial, rushed her head forward a little bit. Nice cover up there. Minimize the bobble. Handspring layout, triple series. Very nicely done. I love how she just moved from skill to skill. Switch leap, split jump. Gainer full dismount. Smallest of steps. I feel like she kind of rushed some of her skills. She just needed to take her time. She moved great, but you could see in her skills, she was thinking a little ahead to what's next. But a beautiful triple series. There should be no deductions there.
Then the debrief.
The debrief. You can tell she's maybe a little bit disappointed. It wasn't her best routine, but it's still another solid routine for the lineup.
Mizzou still has 2 top 10 performers in the country remaining, and this is Celestine, who had a 9.975 last week. The happiest person in the arena was her brother in the stands because he choreographs her routine.
That is so fun. I love that she can involve her brother in that way, and you're in for a treat. Can't tell if there is doesn't look like a judge conference. Just a little slower on the scoring.
Coach Welker walked across the floor, giving her an extra second to maybe add to the drama, the suspense.
This crowd is already into it. Beautiful full in, did a great job at keeping that front foot in place. Very different elite series there. Pike Shushanova. It's hard not to just smile through this whole routine. Front tuck through to double tuck. Two with a stuck landing. Can't forget the death drop. That's getting a very loud applause from the Arkansas fans
sure
as well.
is. You're right.
That was so much fun. Full in, little bit of foot form there. But man, this last pass was so impressive. Front through to double tuck. She wasn't letting them take anything there.
Arkansas is trying to drop a 9-8. Haley Klein did not compete on this event last week. She's getting her opportunity, and that is the word of the night for the Gym-Backs.
She has a very difficult beam routine, and if she can put it together, it has a very high scoring potential. Nicely done. Aerial back layout, step out. Does the same series as what we'll see Jocelyn do. She's been really trying to work on her confidence here. You know, she had a few falls early in the season when she was in the lineup. They wanted to take her out to let her kind of get a refresher. Sometimes that's all you need is a little mental break.
A reboot.
Yes, a reboot. And this is a great routine by Haley. And should definitely be a confidence booster. One and a half. Smallest step. Very minimal deductions throughout. Had the smallest little adjustment on that series and that step. But again, a confidence booster, knowing that you can just slot that right back into the lineup. And that is such a difficult series. Much better on her form. Typically, she can get a little squirrely in the air with her legs. I think that was one of the cleaner ones, but she did rush the landing, so. Great routine for Haley. I hope that helps her confidence going into the postseason.
Well, you're not third in the country in the NQS in this event if you don't have some big-time performers. And Kennedy Griffin's had a 10 this year, and stop me again, but she's been amazingly consistent with her scores over the last several meets.
And I know they call Missouri the Show Me State, and I think they do that justice on the Show Me on their floor routines.
They embody that
They do.
moniker.
They do. And she is one of them. Again, they all have so much fun, but like you said, she got that 10 early in the season. It's unlike her music was on. We're just dealing with a few little delays here.
Is this a music issue?
It did sound like a music issue.
See Coach Jackie Turpak there as well. Used to be an Arkansas Volunteer. Does that throw you out of your rhythm at all?
It can, but I think you just got to be prepared for whatever it throws at you in this sport. Huge double pike, dances right out of it. And they just look like they're having so much fun out there. I know that's kind of cliche to say, but that's one thing Coach said that he wants them to do. I think beautiful front through to double tuck. But yeah, they truly just are so joyful is what he said. And hey, if they can compete with this much energy and joy all the time and go 198, he'll take it.
Sometimes confidence creates fun.
Yes. Gotta hit the Beyonce real quick. Very fun league series there. Great routine for Kennedy. There's that front through to double tuck. No problems on the landing there.
Arkansas will try and drop the 9-8 on the beam. Robertson up next. She won the beam at the U.S. Olympic Trials, part of a 9-9 parade again last week against Kentucky.
Beautiful pike jump. And I love watching something that you won't see on camera, but I love watching Jocelyn prepare for beam. She just sits down. Very nice combo there. Like, oh, yep, I'm next on beam. And then she'll go and deliver the best performance ever. It's so impressive, especially as a freshman.
And still going through all of her elite requirements.
Yes.
It's amazing.
She is a superhuman. So far, no deductions on this beam routine. Really needs to just absorb this landing. Don't rush it. Nicely done. All she has left is the dismount. And if she can get the stick, this is going to be a huge score.
It's the fans to call the hogs and waiting for the dismount. Oh, Sydney.
I don't know if she's stuck in. I
Little
can't
wobble.
tell. Maybe the smallest foot movement. Let's see. Hits a beautiful 180 in her leap. Solid. Here's that dismount. She was fighting for, I can't tell. Her toe looked like it moved a little bit weird, but they're calling for the 10. We'll see what the judges do. Still, that should still be a huge score for Jocelyn.
We're going to go from Jocelyn to Jocelyn. From Robertson to Moore, ready for Mizzou. 5th in the SEC, 9th in the country. Now, she has had, in her career, 31 9-9s or better on this event.
Yeah, I would say that this is her event. Double A. Great job at holding that landing. And I'm honestly so impressed. To do a double out, it's hard enough. And then to have so much energy afterwards is so impressive. Beautiful leap connection there. to get everyone into it. That was a phenomenal routine by Jocelyn. Textbook throughout. Another super solid floor lineup for Mizzou, proving why they are so highly ranked.
Agreed.
Double A. I would like to have seen her maybe gotten a little bit more height there. It looked like she rushed the back handspring. Again, being picky, because I think the judges could take a height deduction, but that's such a fun routine.
And you see the 9.925 from Celestine. Arkansas will drop a 9.8 in their beam. They will finish with a 49.375, their best event so far of the three, and now Cammie Weaver on an exhibition.
Yeah, and she's been struggling a little bit. This is her event, but you know, again, we talked about it earlier. You can get in those mental ruts, and it's really hard to get out of it. So take the pressure off a little bit. Let her do a competitive routine without it counting and see where it goes from there.
Because a good event tonight might get her back in this lineup in the postseason.
Very nicely done. She knew right away that she was on. Straddle the double stack. This is a great routine for Cammie. Can she get the stick? And she does. Wow.
This might be the third straight event. Arkansas wishes they could count their exhibition.
That was a phenomenal routine. I definitely think they wish that might have been in lineup tonight. But again, that's what these exhibition routines are about. Can they still hit under pressure? And clearly that beam routine is still there for Cammie Weaver.
Big performance even in an exhibition for Cammie Weaver. Mizzou's going to have an exhibition as well on the floor with Rayleigh Jackson. Coach feels like his freshmen have really been coming along nicely, and it's a chance for Rayleigh here at Bud Walton. Moore had a 9.875, so for all those 9.9s, it didn't happen this evening.
Yeah, I think they, like we said, they probably took a little bit on the height there. She might have slid her foot. The 9.875 is still an impressive score. I think people tend to forget that, but that 9.9 is the coveted score that you obviously want. And I like the switch up of this routine. A little bit more serious. Music's a little intense.
It is intense.
Beautiful lead series. Switch string, difficult to get credit for. Double tuck. Another great routine in an exhibition spot. Man, these exhibition spots have been absolutely killing it tonight.
No doubt.
I really, really enjoyed their routine. I like the switch up. I like the intensity. That was very solid tumbling too.
So 3 rotations down. Arkansas ready for the floor. Let's check in with Emerson and Jordan Weaver.
Coach, your team tends to kick things up for this last rotation. What are you looking for on floor for this last home meet?
I'm looking for what they do every time they're at home on floor. Just wonderful performances, strong landings, precise leads, all the details. I know they've got it. Can't wait to see it.
You're celebrating 8 seniors tonight. Tell me about this group of athletes.
Oh my gosh, it's so hard to put into words what these seniors have meant to our program. Not just competitively, but the leadership and the improvements in culture they've made. It's just been really amazing. We're so proud of them, and tonight is really all about celebrating these seniors.
Coach, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Guys.
Always so many emotions around senior night, especially when this meet has so many ramifications, but Arkansas will crank it up a notch when they go to the floor when you come back for the 4th rotation on Friday Night Heights in Northwest Arkansas.
This program has meant so much to me. When I first got here, I was injured, which was not ideal. but we made it work. Through the support I had and just the community that I was surrounded by here at Arkansas, it really got me through. I'm just lucky to be in an environment where they want me to be a better person in and out of the gym.
Getting to be a part of this program has meant the absolute world to me. Being able to spend my last year of gymnastics surrounded by the best people who make this place feel like home has been truly something special.
Coming from Hawaii and being so far away from home, it was a very big adjustment for me, especially the culture. But the relationships I made with the team and the coaches has helped me come out of the shell a lot.
I have grown as a person over the past 4 years, and I think the coaches and my teammates have really played an important role in that, and I couldn't be more grateful for that.
Being a part of Arkansas Gymnastics has completely shaped who I am, not just as an athlete, but as a person. The energy, love, and passion that this team has for each other and for the sport of gymnastics is something I'm so grateful to have been a part of.
My favorite memory as a Razorback would have to be my first vault back after my ACL tear as a freshman. The minute that I landed the vault, automatic tears, and my team was all behind me to give me the biggest hug, and it was just such a bittersweet moment because I had worked so hard to get back to that spot.
Thank you, seniors. Thank you, seniors. Thank you, seniors, for being your unique selves in and outside of the gym, for all your guidance, love, and support, for being so inspiring and motivating, for being very great role models,
showing me true friendship and just love and empathy.
Your presence will be dearly missed in and out of the gym.
Love you guys.
Well, Mizzou certainly has some impact seniors as well. They had 10 9-9s from seniors alone last week. Jocelyn Moore, she's the 5th coach. Coach said she's the boss. You won't be working, she won't be working for you. You'll be working for her at some point. They've got some great ones.
Yeah, their seniors have really contributed to the highest of highs at Mizzou. You know, they were on a team that made it to the NCAAs. They've seen just about every version of Missouri gymnastics, but they've just continued to grow. Every single year they've gotten better, and that's super impressive.
Mizzou able to extend its lead after the 3rd rotation. Arkansas did have its biggest score of the 3 when they finished on beam and hoping for another huge floor. They've had a couple of meets this year where they've used the floor to pass LSU and Florida for a win, but again, a win is not as important as the score that they need to get, and also the scores that the Auburn Tigers are putting up as well.
Yeah, they just need to go out there, have their floor party that they're used to, and end on a note that they want to be proud of and continue to fight.
8 spots in the SEC championship for 9 teams, and again, Jordan Weber certainly believes all 9 should be there, and I gotta believe going forward they will figure out a way to do just that, so there's not a team that's in the top 16, 17, 18 in the country that doesn't get to compete in their conference event.
Yeah, you know, we talked to her, and obviously she's very passionate about it, as any coach would be, and there are, you know, potential other solutions that I think they should consider personally, you know, with having every team in the top 15, 16 range. But it just shows you that the SEC is the best conference
They're
in
loaded,
gymnastics.
there's no doubt. This is Abby Miller. She was at Illinois with Ewald, a 9-8 a week ago. A couple of meets ago, did not compete on the beam against Florida.
And it's really cool that she's able to experience a senior night with Katie Ewald here too. They were in the same class at Illinois, very close friends. You see them both really thrive at their new schools. Solid save on that series. A little bit off, but didn't let it deduct too much. Speed jump, split 3/4.
Oh, hold
Good
on.
save. Just needed to absorb the beam a little bit there. Got it too ahead of herself. Speed jump, front toss. Round off 1.5, small hop in place. A hit routine for Abby, not her best. There were some wobbles throughout that are gonna definitely add up, but a hit routine to start off the lineup, and hopefully they can drop that score going forward.
That was the save.
And that hop in place.
Well, Callista up first. She has the 3-pass routine, correct?
She does. It seems that we're having some music difficulty tonight. Coach Reber's not too happy about that. Double pike. Wow. She's had some difficulty with that landing, having too much juice. No problems there tonight. And she just needs to soak in the moment here. On the 1.5 to double full. So nice. She is going to try to go out with a bang at her final routine here in Bud Walton Arena. Can't get too ahead of herself here. Really take in this moment.
Jordan's dancing along with her.
She's really trying to get the crowd into it too. Double tuck. That was such a great final routine here for Callista. Wow. The lead-off queen. She has been so consistent for this program.
Well, she has. A great word, and not just consistent, consistently really good, too.
That is how you set up the rest of the team to just keep getting bigger and bigger. They're calling for a 10 first routine up, and I love it. I love that she has the difficulty, the 3 passes, and she just exudes so much joy on the floor. She's definitely going to be missed here at home, but man, she has done so much for this program.
Arkansas had a season high on the floor a couple of weeks ago against Alabama when they had 5 scores above 9-9. And this is our first chance to introduce you this evening to Amy Weir.
Front aerial to back handspring, nicely done. She kept it moving. You could tell she was kind of off going into that back handspring. It's really important to keep that connection so she doesn't lose credit for the series. Split to split half. Deep breath before the dismount here. Cartwheel to a step, gainer full dismount. Wow, great job. Like we said, they had that 9-7 to lead off. Wanted to be able to drop it. Great job picking back up on pace.
Well, Gammiao did get the 9-9 for Arkansas. A good first score, a standard that I'm sure the rest will also shoot for, including Haley Klein, who's up next off a 9.85 in that Kentucky meet.
First pass, front through, double tuck, short on that landing. You want to see them take a step backwards, not forwards. So that will be a deduction. taking her time with the dance. Front lay to front full. Great job. Not giving up much deduction there. Good routine from Haley. She did, like I said, have that deduction on the first pass. On that front through to double tuck. Looks like she just rushed it. She kind of let the ground come to her versus the opposite. A little bit of form there in her last pass.
There hasn't been anything wrong with Arkansas's performance tonight, but maybe at times you see them kind of thinking or worrying just a bit.
Yes, they're a little bit flat is kind of a word that I think of. You know, like you said, there's not anything crazy deduction-wise super wrong with routines, but they are giving away those small deductions that they kind of can't afford to give away.
Especially when they all add up. And this is Rayleigh Jackson, the only Mizzou freshman to compete in every meet this year. Trying to drop the 9-7 from Abby Miller.
Beautiful front aerial to back handspring. No wobbles. Difficult lead series, switch lead to switch half. Not a lot of people can do the switch half that well. One and a half, smallest hop with a little silencer there. But very, very clean routine. That's definitely 180 there. Again, it's a very difficult lead to do that well. And just the smallest of hops, but they should be happy with that routine. I definitely think that should score higher than the 9-7.
Well, it was 2 weeks ago on this floor that Maddie Jones had a 9.95 against Alabama. See if she can find that magic again, whether we believe in magic or not.
Beautiful front double full. She has been so fun to watch over her 4 years on floor, especially. Such a beautiful dancer. Nice lead series. One and a half, front layout, beautifully done. Dances right out of it. Get too far ahead of herself now. Just gotta breathe. Can't rush this last pass of Rudy. Wow. Smallest of foot movement there. Definitely showing the motions of that one. It has been so fun to watch her grow over these 4 years.
Let's check in with Emerson with more.
I caught up with Maddie Jones earlier this week about senior night, the emotions going into tonight, and she said as a walk-on, she came in and having an opportunity is the best thing that could have happened to her. She grew as a person, She finally earned that scholarship, and she says it felt so rewarding. But it wasn't just for me. It was for my parents and all of the hard work they put into my career. Both of her parents moved to Northwest Arkansas from North Carolina to be able to come to every single meet. They only missed one, which was Auburn this year, but she's so thankful for this program and the support that she's had over these last 4 years.
Yeah, I love that. This is Addison Lawrence. She didn't compete last year because of injury, so I think she has an appreciation for being back out there, and she's had a couple of big events on this, big weeks on this event.
Aerial back handspring. Similar to what we saw Jocelyn Roberson do for Arkansas, but she needs a back handspring. Very, very difficult series there. Split jump, split three-quarter, does a good job at keeping that connection there. Showing off the flexibility a little bit. Round off 1.5. Stuck, dismount. Wow, very impressive beam routine. Truly, there was not much to deduct there, if any.
And you've been picky tonight, Sydney.
I have. You have to be when all, like I said, all these things add up, and the scores matter more tonight than they ever have before.
Well said. Arkansas will try and drop a 9.75. Maddie Walagora had a career high against Kentucky in that meet with a 9.95 last week.
It's been great to see her get into this floor lineup. Like I said, she really became a mainstay when Leah Smith went down. First pass, front lay to double full, beautifully done. And she just radiates so much joy while she's out there. Just this last pass. She did it great last week at Kentucky. One and a half, front lay. A little under rotated, but a great final routine for Maddie. And she has made such an impact on this program in just 1 year. Such a solid person every week. Let's look at that last pass, round off 1.5 front lay. You can tell she's almost going for the stick a little too hard, kind of slipped. So that will be a deduction, but man, what a final routine for Maddie Walagora.
And by the way, Addison Lawrence had 110 and a 9.9 for a 9.95.
So I'm not too far off with some of the judges tonight.
I want to give you your flowers in
thank
addition
you.
to the seniors. This is Olivia Kelly. 9.9 a career high last week.
Great job at keeping that going. You can tell she was a little off, but didn't break the connection. Great job. Very nice side aerial. You can tell that throughout this Missouri lineup, they've had a few minor deductions that they could have let turn into major errors, and they've done a really good job at not allowing it to be any bigger than a small deduction at most.
And I got to believe that will bode well for them in the postseason.
Yes, definitely. Wow. Stick after stick. That was a great routine. Don't think it'll be the 10. I did see some small little deductions throughout, but another really big score for Missouri on beam. They are closing out this meet well.
See, Wallagora had a 9.85, so it brings up Jocelyn Robertson. Now, Sydney will cry when there is a 10. Did you cry when there's 110, or does that make you angry?
Well, it makes me angry, but I was very close last home meet, too. I had chills after this routine. Thought she was going to do it.
That was the 9.975 against Alabama. Jordan Weber said she saw perfection. See what we get this evening.
Duck double out. Oh my goodness. They've been taking some deductions on her chest position, on just about every random aspect of that double layout, and she was not letting them take anything there tonight. But she still has a final pass. Sometimes she can get, I've talked about it on beam, she can get a little bit ahead of herself. She loves to perform. Beautiful leaps. Really trying to get that crowd into it. Front leg through the double tuck. I have no words.
Could this be the night?
I don't know. I think it should.
That's the loudest ovation you've heard in this building this year.
I think that was even better than her 9.975, which I think they could have thrown it.
There's no doubt the score her teammates want to see pop up on the big board.
Look at this double layout. Just no deductions. Front leg through to that double tuck. The only thing I could think, maybe they'll take a chest position there. She did a good job working out of it.
We're going to have to wait
It would be awesome to see a 10 thrown. It would be
It would
awesome.
be. Now, Helen Hu, she's a great story as well. A cool story here, Coach said. I want to give her her due. She took a year off. She came back. She got a 10 on this event, followed it up with two 9.975s. 4 times this year, she's been the specialist of the week in this conference.
I've been so excited to talk about this routine, speaking of 10s. And I'm just going to let you guys sit back and enjoy it, man. It is beautiful. So nicely done. Great job, Helen, keeping focused. We'll hear the boos throughout. Jocelyn went 9.925. Crowd wasn't too happy, but Helen did not let that faze her. This is one of the textbook routines that Helen Hu does so far. If she can stick this dismount, we might see a 10 here.
We might.
That has to be a 10. That is identical to her 10 at Oklahoma.
How do you take a year off and come back and be dominant?
And be better. Again, it goes back to maybe you just needed that mental break, and she knew she wasn't done and had more to give.
It certainly worked for her, and if Mizzou goes really far in the postseason, it might be because of the contributions of Helen Hu. Meanwhile, you mentioned there was one 9.9 and a 9.95 for Robertson, so it's up to Frankie Price. She is used to closing these meets in this style in this building.
She is, and sometimes she has too much energy on this first pass when she knows the people in front of her had a big score. Huge double out. And it is a 10 for Helen Hu on beam.
Who gets the 10 while Frankie Price wraps things up in the anchor spot.
Beautiful leaps.
This is the difficult part about your sport. You can't celebrate the 10, you're on to the next.
Immediately on to the next. So far, this is a phenomenal routine for Frankie. One of the cleanest double layouts I've seen her do. She just does a normal front roll front layout. I'm not going to say the judges are giving her a 10 because clearly I've been wrong a few times tonight, but
you've been pretty close.
I've been close. That was a little bit funky of a step. We did see it from a different angle than the judge is going to see. A great routine nonetheless. Don't know if it'll be the 10. That should definitely replace Haley Klein's 9.75. Look at that front roll, front leg.
Such a performance.
She is.
Tanskanen will perform the exhibition on the beam, the Michigan native.
Handspring Lele.
Able to hold on.
Good save. Extremely difficult acro. Being able to control the emotions after your teammate just went 10. Also something that you don't necessarily typically think about, but
there's not
he's
a
doing
manual
great
for
job.
that.
No, not at all. Round off 1.5. Often sidestep. They'll take some direction there along with the step. But another great routine we talked about. Mizzou has the depth for sure, and it's great to see those exhibition routines hit things that they can use in lineup down the road if needed.
Frankie Price, meanwhile, had a 9.925, so the last two scores the same for Arkansas as Dakota Essen-Price will perform her exhibition on the floor.
And talk about a change of routines here. Dakota has such a serious routine. Leah Smith screaming on the side.
This will be one of the few times this year where the opposition performed better on the beam than Arkansas did on the floor.
Front through to double tag. Great job. Tries to cover up that extra foot movement there by dancing straight out of it. And I love this routine. I think it's so unique. I think this is probably a routine I would have done when I was in college gymnastics. And she plays such an evil character. Great 1.5 front leg. Very solid routine for Dakota. Again, even if it won't be plugged in this year, it's nice to know that she has potential to make that lineup next year.
Arkansas with their best score on the floor. They got incrementally better throughout the night. Maybe not the big score they were hoping for. Mizzou did get the 10 from Helen Hu. An incredible performance. Emerson hoping to have Helen here in just a moment. But Sydney, Auburn had a 197.55 tonight, and that was the other score that these Jim Beck fans were following.
Yeah, and that's congratulations to Auburn for, getting the score they definitely needed. It's very tough to see Arkansas have the season. They didn't have a terrible season leading up to this point, but to know that you came so close, it's disappointing for sure.
Well, Emerson is standing by with Helen Hu, who had the amazing 10 this evening. Emerson, take it away.
Helen, for years, people have been calling Mizzou an underdog. That sure wasn't the case tonight. It was your second 10 this season. Walk me through the emotions.
Thank you. Yeah, it's really rewarding to be here.
Tell me about the next steps. You guys are going to the SEC championships. Does the mindset change? What's happening next?
I think same mindset. We always try to get a little better every day, every week. Just keep beating ourselves. We're competing against Missouri, not anybody else.
Helen, thanks so much. Congrats.
Thank you so much.
Guys.
Sydney, 10s are so rare. I know this year with the scoring difficulties, we've seen fewer, but obviously it's a big moment. Even when you're on the road, you don't have the home crowd behind you. You could appreciate what she accomplished.
Oh, for sure. She has just been such a solid person for Missouri. She's really helped put them in the place that they've been. And, I loved what she said. We don't compete against anyone but Missouri, and that is a mindset that's going to take them pretty far into that postseason.
Could be quite a finish for Mizzou. Arkansas will fall a little bit short of being in the SEC championships, but no doubt the postseason awaits for them as well. Thanks to Emerson Burris and Sydney Lemmerhertz, and I'm Brett Dolan thanking you for tuning in. Once again, Mizzou takes down Arkansas. Quite a night on senior nights. We'll say so long and good evening from Bud Walton Arena in Northwest Arkansas.